Have you ever met someone whose words felt warm, but something in your gut whispered otherwise? Some people hide their truth not with silence, but with carefully chosen smiles. If you could ask just one question that makes someone reveal who they really are, would you? Hey, rising soul. There are people who move through life like closed books. Their voice says one thing, their eyes say another, and their actions write a story you were never meant to read. You try to understand them, try to feel their intentions, but their truth seems locked behind quiet walls. Yet a mind is never truly silent. It reveals itself in small fractures, in how someone reacts when pressure tightens, in the values that slip out during casual conversations, in fears that hide behind confident words, and in dreams buried beneath hesitation. You don't need force to understand someone. You simply need the right doorway. Stoicism teaches that human nature isn't a puzzle. It's a pattern. A person repeats who they are even when they're not aware of it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, meaning, if you observe the thoughts, you understand the person. The right question invites those thoughts to rise to the surface, not to expose them, not to manipulate, but to guide you in moving wisely around them. When a question is crafted with clarity and intention, people don't guard themselves. They answer from instinct, from habit, from the quiet place where their real beliefs live. And in that moment, truth appears, not dramatic, not loud, but unmistakably honest. Some minds reveal caution, some reveal hunger, some reveal tenderness, others reveal storms, and a rare few reveal a kind of peace that changes how you breathe when you're near them. Reading someone's mind isn't about decoding secrets. It's about noticing where their attention gravitates, where their values point, and what their heart protects without ever speaking it aloud. One question can show whether someone runs from accountability. Another can reveal if they grow through adversity. Another can reveal if they honor themselves enough to honor you. And you don't need dozens of questions. You don't need complicated psychology. You need 5 questions that open windows, rather than build walls. Questions that reveal what someone stands for, what they chase, what they fear, what they hope for, and what they avoid. These questions don't demand truth. They invite it. And when people speak from that unguarded place, something remarkable happens. You stop trying to guess their intentions, and you begin seeing them clearly. No masks, no performance, no confusion. Stoicism teaches that clarity is protection. When you understand someone's nature, you detach from illusion. You stop falling for mixed signals. You stop investing your heart in uncertainty. You begin to walk with steadiness, not because people are predictable, but because your understanding becomes stronger than your doubt. Some are kind only when life is soft. Some stay calm only until discomfort appears. Some preach loyalty, yet never practice it, and that's why the right questions matter. Some people claim strength, but crumble at the very first challenge. Some speak loudly about love, yet cannot sit still in honesty. These 5 questions will show you exactly who is standing in front of you, not by force, not by pressure, but simply by giving them space to reveal themselves. So as we move forward, stay present, stay open, and listen not just to what is said, but to what echoes between the lines. Because once you learn to ask with intention, you will never again wonder who someone truly is. Their truth will unfold naturally, effortlessly, and unmistakably. Now, let's begin. Question 1. What do you feel you're running from? A person's truth is rarely hidden in what they show you. It lives in what they avoid. And no question exposes that truth more deeply than this one. Asking what do you feel you're running from is not an accusation. It is an invitation on opening into the deepest layer of the mind. The layer most people never dare to touch. Everyone runs from something. Some run from past wounds that still bleed beneath the surface. Some run from responsibility. Some run from their own potential because success demands more courage than failure. And some run from the truth of who they are when no one is watching. This question opens a doorway into someone's inner patterns. It shows you what they fear, what haunts them, and what they have not healed. The Stoics believed freedom begins the moment we stop fleeing from our inner storms. Epictetus said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." And when someone answers honestly, you'll see exactly how much mastery they hold or how much they are still running from. Listen closely to their response. If they answer with clarity, they hold self. If they hesitate, there is something they have yet to face. If they laugh or joke to escape the depth, they fear vulnerability. If they grow defensive, old pain is still being protected. This question is powerful because it reveals how people deal with struggle. Not the struggle they display publicly, but the struggle they hide in silence. Some will say they are running from disappointment, meaning life has failed them more times than they admit. Some will say they are running from people, meaning trust has been broken in their story. Some will say they are running from their own mind, meaning they battle thoughts they cannot yet understand. And some will insist they are running from nothing, which often means they are running the fastest. When someone tells you what they are running from, you begin to see their emotional landscape clearly. Are they escaping accountability? Are they avoiding effort? Are they avoiding healing? Or are they running from an old version of themselves they want to outgrow but don't yet know how? Their answer shows whether they face life or hide from it, whether they meet challenges with strength or avoidance, whether they move toward growth or repeat the same cycles over and over. This matters because relationships, families, partnerships shaped by how a person faces themselves. Someone who runs from their emotions will pull away without explanation. Someone who runs from responsibility will break promises. Someone who runs from healing will repeat the same harm. Someone who runs from conflict will leave you confused and unsupported. Someone who runs from truth will never build anything real with you. But someone who confronts what they fear becomes steady, grounded, reliable, capable of a love that is patient and understanding, capable of honesty that does not collapse when things get hard. We ended the previous part with a simple truth. People reveal who they are, not just through what they face, but through what they run from. Now, we move deeper, not to judge them, but to understand them. You deserve to know who truly stands in front of you. When you ask this question, your goal isn't to expose or corner anyone. You're trying to understand their emotional landscape, inner terrain they've walked through, so you'll know how to walk beside them, or whether you should walk with them at all. The beauty of this question lies in its clarity without confrontation. It invites honesty without force, truth without pressure, and people can only answer from the level of awareness they currently have. If their response feels shallow, vague, or wrapped in carefully chosen words, that's still an answer. Sometimes avoidance speaks louder than explanation. Stoicism teaches that understanding others begins with accepting what they reveal, rather than twisting it into what you wish it meant. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the truth of what is given." When someone responds, listen with that mindset. Hear what they say. Don't decorate it. don't justify it. Don't reshape it. Their answer shows you the path they walk. Now you can see whether their road aligns with yours, or if your journeys are meant to diverge. Reflect deeply on what you notice in others and within yourself. Let that awareness guide how you move, choose, and connect, and claim it aloud. I see the truth. Now, question 2. What do you do when your feelings and your values disagree? A person's inner world becomes visible in how they handle conflict, the loud arguments with others. Those are easy to mask, but the quiet battles within themselves, the moments where their emotions pull in one direction, while their principles whisper another, the moment where doing what feels good and doing what is right become two different roads. When you ask someone, what do you do when your feelings and your values disagree? You're asking them to reveal their moral backbone, their emotional maturity, and their ability to stay grounded even when turmoil rises. Most people hear their emotions louder than their values. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Emotions are visitors, values are home. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thoughtful about your devotion to what is right." This question exposes whether someone stands on integrity or abandons their principles. When feelings become uncomfortable, listen carefully to their answer, because this question doesn't reveal surface truths. It reveals the structure of their character. Some will say they follow their feelings. If so, understand this: they may act on impulse. They may break promises when emotions shift. They may love intensely one day and pull away the next, not because they're malicious, but because emotions steer them more than commitment does. Others will say they suppress their feelings to follow values. This may show discipline, but also notice whether they're practicing emotional intelligence or emotional numbness, because suppression can create silent storms that eventually erupt. Then there are those who pause. They breathe, they reflect. They ask themselves which response honors the person they are becoming. This kind of answer reveals true emotional wisdom, balanced mind, a steady heart, a soul that chooses clarity over chaos. A person's answer tells you how they will behave when life becomes difficult, not during the easy moments when everything flows, but during the moments when their emotions scream one thing and their values quietly whisper another. We continue from the previous idea. The real test of a person appears not when life is calm, but when emotion rises. Because emotions don't just expose how someone feels, they expose what they choose. Think about what this truly reveals. When someone gets angry, do they react instantly, or do they pause and reflect? When desire tempts them, do they stay loyal to their values, or do they chase what feels good in the moment? When insecurity shows up, do they choose honesty and vulnerability, or do they turn to manipulation as a shield? And when fear appears, do they retreat and run, or do they stay steady and grounded? These moments shape everything: friendships, relationships, trust, stability, and consistency. You deserve to know whether someone chooses the temporary comfort of emotion or the long-term strength of principle, and this question reveals something even deeper: the way a person treats themselves when they're conflicted. A mind that attacks itself becomes unpredictable, always torn and restless. A mind that understands itself becomes trustworthy, anchored, and calm. Some people will tell you they blame themselves just for feeling conflicted. That's someone who is harsh with their own heart, someone who carries guilt even when it isn't necessary. Others will say they negotiate with themselves, choosing a path that honors both values and emotions. That is the sign of a person who grows instead of breaks. And then there are people who genuinely don't know because they've never stopped long enough to look within. That alone isn't a red flag, but it shows how much self-discovery still lies ahead. Stoicism teaches that strength doesn't come from never feeling conflict. It comes from choosing virtue even when conflict is loud. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This question reveals whether someone lives by that simple but powerful compass. Their answer will show you. Are they driven by passing emotional weather, or by the steady ground of inner principles? That's how you learn how safe they are, how consistent they can be, how deeply they understand themselves, and how they will treat you not only when life feels easy, but especially when it feels complicated. And if you truly want to understand someone's mind, you must understand how they navigate their storms. So reflect on your own values. Reflect on the choices you make each day. And if you're ready, share it now in the comments. My values guide me. Question 3. When life hurts you, what do you learn about yourself? This question reaches deeper than pen. It reaches into identity, into who a person believes they are when life stops being gentle. Most people can talk about what happened to them. Few can talk about what those moments taught them. When you ask someone, when life hurts you, what do you learn about yourself? You hand them a mirror most people avoid. A mirror that shows whether they grow from pain or surrender to it. Pain alone teaches nothing. Reflection teaches. Honesty teaches. Awareness teaches. And many people never pause long enough to learn. This question exposes a person's inner philosophy, how they interpret struggles, how they frame their failures, how they understand the wounds they carry. Stoics believed pain was not an enemy, but a messenger. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." Pain shows what needs strength, what needs healing, what needs courage, what needs change. Yet not everyone sees it that way. Some will say pain taught them not to trust anyone. That doesn't mean they found wisdom, it means they built walls. The way a person learns from pain, the truth of their resilience becomes visible not in words, but in how they respond when life pushes back. Because pain can either shape someone or break them. It can protect, or it can push away. Some will say pain taught them to expect the worst. This reveals fear shaping their vision, a worldview built more on survival than on hope. Others will say pain taught them nothing. That reveals avoidance, a mind that shuts down rather than opens to understanding. And then there are those rare souls who say pain taught them resilience, patience, or clarity. These are the ones who grow. These are the people who become steady, grounded, emotionally present, not perfect, but deeply aware. This simple question, what have you learned from pain, reveals whether someone collapses under life's weight or rises from it with new understanding. It shows whether they see themselves as victims or as active participants in their own story. A person who learns from pain becomes reflective and attentive. They communicate rather than react. They heal rather than hide. They understand that hurt can shape them without defining them. But someone who refuses to learn from pain becomes unpredictable. Their emotions run unchecked, louder than their intentions. Their wounds speak for them, often without their awareness. When listening, you're not just hearing their answer, you're listening to their worldview. How do they see themselves? How do they see others? How do they navigate life when comfort is stripped away? Some will speak with heaviness, a sign they still carry unprocessed pain. Others will speak with clarity, a sign they've transformed wounds into wisdom. And some speak with confusion, a sign they've never questioned their patterns. Each response reveals the emotional roadmap that guides their decisions, relationships, trust, and actions. This question also uncovers whether they practice self-examination, a core teaching in Stoicism. Seneca said, "The mind that examines itself is strengthened." A person who reflects becomes emotionally strong. One who avoids becomes fragile. And you deserve to know which type stands in front of you. If they learned to shut down when life gets hard, you'll know patience is needed. If they learned to become cold, you'll know they protect themselves through distance. If they learned to become angry, you'll know they wrestle with inner storms. If they learned to become wiser, you'll know you're speaking to someone who grows instead of breaking. Understanding their answer doesn't give you control, it gives insight. The kind of insight that protects your heart and guides your choices. Because how someone responds to pain is how they respond to love, to responsibility, to conflict, and ultimately, to you. And you deserve to be surrounded by people who face their pain with honesty, not those who let pain speak for them. This question doesn't just reveal their past, it reveals their trajectory, the direction their life is moving. Are they healing forward or hurting forward? Once you know, you'll understand their mind more clearly than they even realize. Remember, every challenge shapes your strength. Acknowledge it. Embrace it. Declare it in the comments. Now I grow stronger. Question 4. What promise do you always keep to yourself? A person's mind becomes clear when you understand the promises they refuse to break. Not the promises they make to others, those are easy to say and easier to abandon, but the quiet promises they make to themselves. The promises they honor when no one is watching. We begin to see the essence of who they truly are, the part that lies beneath every mask. Every performance and every fleeting moment are for. When you ask someone, what promise do you always keep to yourself? You're not asking about trivial words or casual commitments. You are asking about the foundation of their character. You are asking what they stand on when life shakes them to their core. You are asking what remains when everything else falls apart. Because a person who cannot keep promises to themselves cannot keep promises to anyone else. A person who breaks their own word will eventually break the trust of others. A person who betrays themselves will inevitably betray your trust too. Character begins with self-loyalty, and Stoicism teaches that true integrity is born from within. Epictetus said, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That is a promise, a commitment to your own becoming. A pact with the self that guides every step forward. Some will answer this question easily, with confidence. Others will hesitate, struggle, or even avoid it altogether. And each response reveals a deeper truth than the words themselves ever could. Listen carefully. Some will say they keep the promise to never give up on themselves. That shows inner resilience, strong mind built on faith, determination, and unshakable will. Others will say they promise to treat people with kindness. That reveals a heart that values compassion, even when the world feels heavy and unfair. Some will say they promise never to return to the person they once were. That shows growth, a desire to rise, and a refusal to repeat painful patterns. Then there are those who confess they make no promises to themselves. That exposes a lack of inner structure, a wandering identity, a life lived more in reaction than in intention. And some will admit they frequently break their own promises. That answer doesn't deserve judgment, shows a mind in need of healing, a heart striving for better, yet still lacking the tools to stay consistent? This question digs into the very core of someone's self-respect. To promise yourself something is to declare that you are worth the effort, worth the discipline, worth keeping your word to. Some people simply haven't reached that point yet. They haven't yet learned their own worth. When they share their answer, pay attention to what they focus on. Do they speak of habits, boundaries, values, survival, dreams? Each focus reveals a facet of their mindset. If their promise is rooted in pain, they are still healing. If it is rooted in fear, they are still protecting themselves. If it is rooted in growth, they are rising. And if it is rooted in purpose, you are speaking with someone guided by an inner compass. This question doesn't just reveal the present, it shows their future, not as a prediction, but as a reflection of how they walk forward. A person who keeps their inner promises builds discipline. Discipline builds stability. Stability builds trust. Trust builds a life that can withstand pressure, challenges, and uncertainty. Conversely, a person who constantly breaks their promises to themselves lives in emotional debt. They fall behind in healing, in growth, and in the relationship they are meant to have with themselves. And if they are behind with themselves, they will inevitably be behind with you too. But do not judge them harshly. This question is not a test. It is a window. A window that shows whether you are standing with someone who honors their word, or someone still learning how to do so. Stoicism reminds us that the greatest strength comes from aligning what you say with what you do. Marcus Aurelius believed that a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they pursue, and the promises they keep to themselves are the compass guiding the path toward that worth. We begin to see how their inner life truly unfolds. What a person promises themselves in the quiet moments reveals what they value, what they pursue, and who they are when no one is watching. Pay close attention, because when someone tells you what they always keep, they are revealing their identity, their loyalty, their direction, and their truth. And when someone tells you they keep nothing, it shows they are still searching for themselves, still navigating their own inner landscape. Honor yourself by keeping the promises you make. Take a moment to commit to this truth and post it in the comments. I keep my promises. Question 5. What kind of peace are you trying to build? This final question reaches into the deepest corners of a person's mind, not into their past, not into their pain, not even their habits, but into their vision, their direction, and the inner destination they are constructing for their life. When you ask, what kind of peace are you trying to build? You are asking someone to reveal the architecture of their soul. Every person builds a different kind of peace. Some build peace through silence, some through stability, some through freedom, some through distance, some through connection, and some don't know what they are building at all, unintentionally creating chaos around them. Peace is not universal. For one person, it may mean letting go of old memories. For another, it may mean creating structure and order in life. For another, it may mean finding people who make them feel safe. And for someone else, peace may mean learning to trust themselves. Once again, this question reveals the blueprint of a person's heart, their needs, their values, and the work they are willing to do to achieve it. Stoicism teaches that true peace does not come from external circumstances, it comes from inner order. Seneca wrote, "No person can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about length rather than depth." Peace is not measured by how long life feels easy, but by how deeply it feels right. Listen carefully to their answer. Some will say they just want quiet. This reveals Some will say they want stability. This shows someone who longs for consistency, someone who has weathered unpredictable experiences. Some will say they want freedom. This reveals a heart that has felt trapped, a mind that yearns to stretch without judgment. Some will say they want peace with themselves. This shows someone carrying inner conflict, striving to heal their relationship with their own reflection. And some will say they don't know. This reveals a mind still searching, a heart that hasn't yet found its direction, someone who needs time rather than pressure. Whatever the answer, it matters, because when you know the kind of peace someone is building, you understand whether your presence supports that peace or disrupts it. You know whether your lifestyle aligns with theirs, whether you can walk alongside them without stepping on each other's balance. This question also reveals emotional maturity. A person who knows the peace they want has done the inner work. They have reflected, processed, evaluated, and chosen a direction for their life. But a person who avoids this question is often avoiding themselves. Someone who seeks peace through control may be struggling with insecurity. Someone who seeks peace through isolation may still be healing from betrayal. Someone who seeks peace through change may be ready for growth. And someone who seeks peace through honesty may have lived too long in silence. Ultimately, a person's definition of peace shows you how they will handle relationships, conflict, loyalty, personal growth, and life itself. Their answer is a window into their soul, a guide to understanding how to walk with them, in harmony or distance. We begin to understand the choices that define their presence in life. If their peace requires distance, they will naturally pull away when needed, protecting their calm. If their peace requires growth, they will challenge themselves, and sometimes challenge you, pushing toward evolution rather than comfort. If their peace requires honesty, they will speak openly, unafraid to reveal what many keep hidden. If their peace requires safety, they will guard their heart carefully, ensuring it is not easily shaken. And if their peace requires self-respect, they will not tolerate behaviors that disrupt their inner balance or compromise who they are. This question does more than reveal their present state. It reveals the person they are striving to become. It shows whether they are intentionally building their life or drifting unconsciously. It shows whether they are creating a future where love can flourish, trust can breathe freely, emotional storms can settle, connections can deepen without fear, and peace forms the foundation of it all. Because without inner peace, a person cannot love clearly, cannot think clearly, cannot live fully. Stoicism teaches us that inner peace is the greatest wealth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When someone tells you the kind of peace they are building, you see whether their soul is seeking refuge or actively creating it. Their answer shows whether your presence belongs in their life, or whether your paths are meant to diverge. Visualize your own inner peace, the calm that shields you from chaos, the clarity that steadies your steps. Claim it openly and type it in the comments. I build my peace. You now hold 5 questions capable of opening the human mind without force. 5 questions that reveal truth without pressure. 5 questions that expose who a person truly is beneath their rehearsed answers and polished exterior. These questions are not meant to judge, but to understand, to see, and to hear the parts of someone's story that rarely reach the surface. Because real connection and trust come from clarity, not confusion. Stoicism teaches that the more we understand others, the less chaos we invite into our own lives. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will gladly change. This embodies wisdom, openness, awareness, and the courage to face truth as it is. When you ask these 5 questions, you learn how someone carries their pain, how they uphold their principles, how they honor themselves, how they navigate inner conflict, and what kind of peace they are striving to build. You discover their direction and whether your path aligns with theirs. You understand their emotional language and whether you can communicate within it. You perceive their depth and whether they can walk alongside you through yours. Understanding someone's mind is not about control. It is about alignment. It is about recognizing who belongs in your story and who belongs only in your lessons. Carry these questions with care. Use them with intention, and let them guide you to people who speak with honesty, love with clarity, and walk with steadiness. Reflect on the people in your life and the energy you allow around you. Commit to attracting alignment, growth, and truth, and share it below. I attract the right people, and if this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support ensures this wisdom reaches those who need it most.